What's going on? What's going on out there? How we doing? Welcome to Money Mitch. Today we got a show for you today. We're going to be going into an interview with Matt Kors at 6:15. So definitely smash the like button. Let's hit the share. Let's let the whole world know we're going to get into AMC. You guys already know where you guys are at. So let's start this show. Welcome to Money Mitch. It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch. What's going on, traders? How we doing? Let's get this party started. Definitely. I got a little Red Bull. I'm going to keep juicing up. Let's go. You guys, we've been recovering in the after hours. Let's go ahead and put up the chart right quick. Let's look how we've been doing in the after hours. Looks like we're holding that 50. Looks like that 50 is being held. So the line being held there for sure. So definitely smash the like. Let's get this started. One of the things I want to say is we do have a giveaway right now. Benzinga does have a giveaway. If you want your chance to win a free share of Tesla, definitely, guys, look in the description below. We have a Gleam link. We'll go ahead and put that up in the chat here. But check out the trailer. One thing I will tell you guys is at the end of the day, I mean, who wouldn't want a free share? So I'm definitely looking at it. So this is our Tesla giveaway. So go ahead and get into the Gleam, guys. What's going on? All right, we're welcome back. I mean, like the chat says, who wouldn't want a free share of Tesla? I'm sure we take a lot of shares at AMC. I mean, but yeah, definitely a share of Tesla at that 600 would be nice. One thing I want to point out is we always like to start with a little bit of market sentiment. Today, we did go a little bit sideways on the SPY overall market here. And really, the big question is, are we going to break the 420? We've been looking at that 420 price point here on Money Mitch. So definitely for our loyal fans out there, hit the like. But we're going to see if we can get back above the 420. The 420 is so important. Who knew that number would be definitely so important for the SPY to hold? But we'll see if we can get back above that level tomorrow with a nice rally. And hopefully, I'm sure that's what you guys are here for AMC to get a nice rally. I mean, look at this candle today, big candle today. So one thing we're going to look if we can get past that high that we had on Wednesday. The high was 72.62. A lot of people asking, and that's why in the title today was, is AMC going to that 100? We'll find out when we get into our interview coming up at 6:15. But definitely, guys, let me know. Is there any BlackBerry fans out there? You guys let me know. This is one that I've been really looking at. That's why you guys see the lines drawn. This is one that was definitely on my radar. After on Thursday, we got a nice bit of volume. We got 45 million. And then Friday, we got 116 million shares traded there. That's what really gave me the sign. Hey, maybe BlackBerry was the next one up also. Nice run there today. Good push up there towards a high of 21.55. We're going to keep seeing if this one can keep moving on up. But definitely, if there's any BlackBerry fans, let me know in the chat, guys. All right, let's keep going to the next one that I really like. Other play that actually did an offering today, but I'm going to keep a watch on it. Express making a move up there towards that $8, but coming right back down. The other one that I really want to see if, who knows, maybe it can get running. I used to play this one a lot, guys. The genius. Who knows? Maybe it gets running. We'll see if that one definitely gets running. But Cost is another great play in here. We'll see if that one can get over the 40. And, of course, triple BY. I know there's some fans out there for some triple BY, so definitely smash the like button. We'll see if that. But of course, AMC is what you're here to see, guys. And so let's go a little bit into what we see on the hourly. I like using hourly charts whenever you kind of get this kind of big movement so that you can judge the bottom and start seeing, hey, where are we holding support? Looks like we held 45 multiple times today. So definitely let's keep an eye on that level. Really, I want to see 50 hold and us get right back up towards it. One of the things I'd point out is that we're starting to kind of get this kind of pattern right here, starting to get this kind of flag pennant. I always look for that 3 resistance try and then a push out over it. So we're going to see if we can get back above here. We've gotten kind of this one run, a couple runs now. We got this one run up, a big pull back. Then we got another run up here. That's going to be the second run. Let's see if we can continue in this pattern and then get on out of this pattern. That's kind of what I'm looking at to see if we can go ahead and get and work our way out of this pattern tomorrow. We'll look to see if we can hold that 45 and hold that support there. But what are you guys thinking? Are you guys thinking we're holding that line at 45? Let's see. I'm going to catch up with the chat here. This thing's going live. Definitely, guys, smash the like. We got Matt Kors coming up next. Definitely smash the like, guys. Let's get this party started. Let's keep going. Let's go ahead and take a look here at another stock that I think, could really get going. I mean, BB really had a move here on the hourly. You can see the support really building also right near this $15. So that's what I'm going to be looking at tomorrow. If we can kind of hold that $15 price point, can we come back down kind of closer towards this $14.50, $15 area and then get back up through that 18? You had that multiple attempt look, also same kind of look here, pushing on up, coming back down, getting that second resistance, starting to build up here. And now that we've had multiple tries to get above this level, one of the things that we're going to see is if we can get a good volume push up through, now that we're getting out of this trend, can we start getting that volume to just push us back up there through the 20s and then get back through there? Definitely, guys. What's going on? Why do these people keep buying the meme stocks? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, why do the people keep buying it? I mean, because it's making people money. I mean, I think that's really the question here. I mean, if you had that really ask, I mean, if you're making money, there's nothing really wrong with making money. I mean, that's what we're all here for in the market at the end of the day, to create wealth for our families. And there's a difference between, just making some money and creating wealth. So that's really one thing I definitely want to get into. One of the things that Matt Kors said, is that Wall Street, really refers to investors as dumb money. And, kind of that, that they're just kind of the dumb apes, really, I mean, I kind of am so agreeing against this thought. I mean, really, I think retail traders have gotten way more information now that we had in prior time. We got strength. We have numbers behind us now. And really, I mean, retail traders actually move stocks now. I mean, I remember in a time when I first started about 5 years ago where that was kind of unheard of. But really, you've been seeing the drive. And that's really all thanks to people like we're going to bring on right now. Matt Kors, let's go ahead and bring him on. Let's get him in here. What's going on, dude?
Hey, what's going on, Money Mitch? How are you?
Hey, super excited to have you on. One of the things that I really got to be a fan of is that mentality of that, retail traders have information now. There's no need to have like the all these big research. A lot of the information, majority of information is just public information. So there's no reason to have all these kind of big research firms that you're going to when you have the information right in front of us. And that's what we use that's what I use Benzinga Pro for, is definitely to get me that information.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you. And even there, the size of this community is so important, because like if you have each of these people doing a half hour, an hour of research, well, when you multiply that by the last report is 3.2 million in AMC alone of just like retail individual investors. Like that's a lot between, you have Facebook groups, this on YouTube, Twitter, Reddit. It expands so quickly. So like, I get it. We don't have necessarily the tools and the access that a hedge fund does, but like there's definitely strength in numbers.
That there definitely is. I mean, the stock prices don't tell themselves, But first thing I want to do is definitely so my memory, when you first started, doing these kind of streams, the GME,
Mhm.
AMC, it was a show that you actually kind of got a little bit stuck there, right? You got a little bit in the band situation, right? This was when the
Oh
day
yeah.
that the Robin Hood kind of got that whole band on. And it was around, I remember, even 1378. You actually opened up the stream saying that you wanted to get in to AMC, but you couldn't because of the
Yeah.
band. So how do you feel about this topic now that we've had Vlad talk and we've had multiple conversations about it? What do you think?
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, even if you told me at the end of January that they could stop people from buying, I didn't know you could do that. It blew my mind. So it took me by surprise then, and now I want to think that no brokerage is going to do it again because we know with the DTCC they've increased collateral requirements. I would hate to see it again, and I think that for a particular brokerage that pulled it for like attempt number 2, I think that would almost be a death sentence for their company. But apparently now we do have to be, I guess, respectful of that potential risk. So could it happen? Yes. Do I think it's going to happen with any brokerage? No. I think if they were smart, the brokerages will be reading kind of the writing on the wall of what's going on, getting all their collateral wherever they need it to, so this doesn't happen. I guess that's my own opinion. I don't think it's going to go I pray it doesn't happen again, but if they do, I could almost see there being like a miniature uprising of sorts.
No, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, no one wants any kind of restrictions. I mean, that's the whole part of having, free capital and being in a capitalist state. I mean, we want to make our money when we have it present, one of the things I always say, when the well is given, you got to take it. You got to take it, and that's very important. Now, one of the things I did want to point out, and I'll definitely put it in the chat a little bit later for everyone to see. But we did get a nice article on you in Benzinga, so I definitely wanted to point that out and kind of get that shown here. So definitely, guys, check it out. If you guys didn't get to see kind of the interview article that we had, it did awesome numbers. So I wanted to point that out before we get a little bit too far from that. And really, I mean, in here, you put out a lot of the stuff that, we were talking about in our early conversation here about kind of the change that we really have seen in the retail investor and how it's just not the same. And so one of the things that I wanted to get into is that you did see, of course, the Mudrick Capital move and them trying to flip some shares, or they thought they were flipping some shares there. What do you think about this move? And do you think we're going to continue to see some kind of move like this happen?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there is an interview coming out later today with Adam Aaron, and I'm sure he'll offer some commentary on it. But when that was happening during the live stream, so for those of you who haven't heard about Mudrick, what happened was on June 1st, when the market was closed, they entered into an agreement with basically the leadership team at AMC to buy 8.5 million shares, and the cost basis was for $27. Then on June 2nd, that was a holiday, June 1st, Memorial Day, the U.S. markets were not open. When the market opened on Tuesday, basically midday around 12:30, 12:45, not only did they sell them all, but they did it in a very, very public manner. They told all their clients, they made a public debut of it. Oh, it's overvalued. You got to get out. So from basically between 27 and 32, they just went out, they made 40 million, good for them. But also that particular day, the stock fell so much that they lost more than that in market cap. But what's weird about it, they made a public debut. They wanted it known that they thought AMC was overvalued. And also, if you look at the timing of the day, that was specifically interesting because it was during the lunch hour. And lunch hour is notorious for being super, super low volume. So not only did they want to sell it, but they wanted to sell it and do the most damage possible just because it was the lowest volume volatility environment, which I thought was interesting. But even there, I mean, I believe the stock is currently trading at 51. They sold it at 32. They literally lost out on hundreds of millions of dollars. And karma's going to get them. It got them already. Like if they sold it, if they did it quietly and slowly, they would have made so much more money. They would have had so much less, I guess, ape community, ape nation hatred against them. They played it very, very poorly. And I guess they're just on the wrong side. Like I was joking around on the stream. I think it's going to go down as one of the worst trades that they could have possibly done that. Like
you and me both. I said it yesterday. I was like, somebody got fired. I don't know who it was, but I feel bad. Somebody woke up that day, just pack your desk, just start getting this stuff going.
They had a good run, I suppose, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then that even led into today. They did more. They raised more money. So the company, and now I get it. Through 2020, it was very tough to be not only a movie theater, but many businesses in the U.S. Like the Rona hit every business hard. That was a tough one. And with this, they're raising more money, and it's slowly pivoting the narrative on like that was the thing we always heard about is like fundamentally it's a bad company. It's going down the hill. Right now, they're raising so much money that they're going to be able to take care of their debt that comes to due date in 2025, 26, something like that. So, and then beyond that, they have now money to acquire other movie chains and expand their market share. Personally, I don't believe movie theaters are going anywhere. I get that streaming is becoming more popular. Like I'm not fighting against that at all. But I think there's something nostalgic and sentimental. I mean, for me, the new Fast and Furious, all these Marvel movies, there's no way the first time I watch them, it's going to be on a streaming service. I'm personally going to go, I enjoy it. And that doesn't change because in 2020, when I had the AMC pass, I still had streaming, but I enjoyed going to the movies. So I just don't buy it. Fundamentally, they're improving the business. They have a runway till pretty much now past like into 2023. So the whole argument, the fundamental thing, and I'm sure you've seen some of these analysts come out with a 1 cent price target. It might be 1 cent, but at the end, we're currently trading up at $51, and it's on roughly a 400% run in the past week and a half. So like, I like being on our side of dumb money a little bit more because I feel like we're actually making dumb money in the current scenario.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of my questions later on, but definitely, I mean, you heard AMC mention that they want to continue buying additional movie theaters. So I don't think they would be doing that if they didn't see the capital in there. So they're doing their numbers. I mean, they're not going to be getting into more movie theaters if they didn't see the profitability in buying another movie theater, right?
Exactly.
So one of the things that I want to get into is a real question that I'm asking. And, we got in a little bit of a pullback now. Has the fight just begun?
I mean, I think it's actually been going. I think the fight is beginning for a lot of new people, but like this community has slowly but surely been growing ever since January. But now it's like, it's almost in the hockey stick growth phase where it's just really expanding now. And the particular dip, no one wants. What did it pull back today? 18%. Yeah, no one wants that. Of course you want it up, up, up. I get that. I have my money in it too. I'm right there with you. But also understand, when you're up so much, it's very reasonable to take a pullback, especially with some of the news articles that were coming out this morning trying to scare people. If you look at GameStop in January, Volkswagen back over a decade ago, this was reasonable action. It went up, it took a breather, and at that point, the breather was a sizable drop, but it based and it went from there. I was listening to your show earlier. You were pointing out this support between 40, 45. I think you were calling it at 45. I 100% agree with you. That's a healthy check. We build the support there. We see the supply and the demand. I think there's going to be a considerable amount of demand, and we're going to go from there. And I mean, right now, personally, my own position, I made right at the end of the day, I made quite a big bet on a gap up for tomorrow. I have options expiring out of the money tomorrow, and we're just going for it. We're going to see how it plays out.
I can't blame you for taking the try. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what it's all about, right? I mean, One thing I've noticed is that people are not thinking about, this kind of trade as something to go ahead and kind of make, let's say, $20 trade and continue trading. This is a wealth move, right? This is one thing that I'm trying to relate it to. It's not necessarily, it's like, I'll take a chance. There's no reason in taking a chance in life. And if it really can get you to that next level, let's say some people buying houses and doing stories like this is what I really asked to my community yesterday. I said, hey, I want to hear the positive stories. I want to hear the people that are making these great gains and leaps in their lives. And all thanks to the meme stocks that, you know, everyone wants to kind of put on the news and kind of hit on the downside. But at the end of the day, they are creating wealth for the generation.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're like, just in my community as well, I'm seeing these people who they define their own lives as never really feeling financially secure, never having money, and now even in the run, like still where they're at today, a ton of money. And I personally believe, I'm not a fortune teller, I'm not a financial advisor, but I don't think the saga is over. I truly believe it's going to keep going. And I think it's more so because when you talk to analysts and people who have really been tied into the stock market, they look at fundamentals and they look at technicals. And I get that. That's a very fair way to judge it. Be like, wow, man, that's a big gain. You should lock in your profits. I get that. But what I don't think they quite understand, and they're not really appreciating in their models, is how this has become so more than just a stock move. People are out there trying to make a statement. This is a social pivot, a cultural move, and many people, that particular storyline is resonating with them. So the way I define it is like, yeah, we're at a point that we're beyond technicals, we're beyond fundamentals. I am not blind to that fact, but I think it is very much the first couple steps in a crazy social story, and it happens to be playing out on the stock market. And I don't think many people in Wall Street, especially the people betting against it, appreciate the type of message that people are trying to send. Previously in 2008, 2009, we had Occupy Wall Street, and that was, I think, a very similar psychology that we're seeing right now. But now it's bigger and people are doing it on the internet. And at a certain point, you have to appreciate that.
Definitely. Hey guys, if you guys for any reason don't know who this is, definitely you guys check in the description below. You guys can actually just get a click link right to his YouTube. Check him out every single day. You day stream for all day long, man. You're a monster. I had to tell you that too. I mean, we do some long streams, but you're a freaking monster. So definitely smash the like, guys. Smash the like here for AMC and also for Matt Kors. One thing I definitely say is that you definitely have built a community, right? How have you built this community so quickly? And how did he amass to this grand amount? I saw 70,000 watching. I mean, you're killing it, dude.
Yeah, I think actually at the day that I'm filming with this you now, I think I actually have my record numbers today. I top ticked it at like 88,000 concurrent viewers. And to answer your question of how I built it, I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'm a member of it. And then I give it more of the foundation for all the people of the same mindset to kind of connect. Like, I don't know if I'm doing like really necessarily a leadership role of just like more of providing the community that people like want to talk and discuss ideas and share DD and talk about trades and all that stuff. And I don't know. I've just been in it. And I think the message, as much as it resonates within me, other people who they like really appreciate that, they're like, hey, like this is what this kid is going for. So it's kind of cool. Like, obviously emotionally, it's like, it's fun to get that feedback. But man, I had a day job in mid-February, and to tell me that I would be having this conversation with you right now, that the numbers I had today, the pure unbridled enthusiasm for this stock blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind. Every day I wake up and I'm just, is this real life? This is just wild.
Hey, use that energy, my man. Power to you, man. And I could see it. It's definitely giving you some lift, and keep it going, man. Bring it back. I know you bring it back to your community. You bring that energy all day. I mean, look at the time. I mean, you streamed all day today, and look at the energy you have right now. So definitely coming at it. Now, one of the questions I had, and I got even a little bit confused today, so maybe you can help me clarify this. You know, a lot of people are talking about the new stock offering this morning, you know, raising 587.4 million of additional capital. It was sold 11.5 million at 50.85. That's why I like also the 50 number, just to point out. But just to keep it going, what happened there? Can you explain us a little bit more, since I would definitely call you more of an expert in that?
Yeah, so it came out early this morning. There was a filed 8K that they're going to do 11.55 million shares, and the agent selling it was B. Riley and Citigroup. And with the volume today, I think we exceeded another 500 million a day. It was not hard, obviously, to dump like under 12 million shares. Like, I had a suspicion that was going to kind of play out today. I have a big suspicion on where those shares actually came from, and we're going to find that out through some, I guess, press releases. Like maybe my theory is right or wrong, but basically it was just a big play to raise over $500 million. And once again, they're just targeting their upcoming debt in a couple of years. They're targeting potential new acquisitions. Really, they're just fundamentally strengthening the business to use that money. And the leadership team, they don't become leadership team by being dummies. They're taking advantage of an opportunity to permanently improve the trajectory of AMC as a business.
Definitely catching up here with the chat. You know how it is, man. Lots of love out there. Lots of love. Definitely.
Moon Gang.
You know how it is. I got to give you another props. I see you catching up with these chat messages, and they be scrolling, they be rolling, man. Yeah, I don't know how that slow chat is on, but man, it doesn't look like it's on. Let's go ahead and let's get into the next one. Let's get into some fun. Okay. One of the questions that I wanted to ask you is, so what do you think is the best approach now? And of course, and this is the best time to kind of, I'll throw my little disclaimer up there, but what do you think is the best to kind of approach to trade AMC right now? Do you think it's better to approach it in kind of stocks, like straight stock trade, or do you think it's a little bit better to approach it in some options kind of strategy?
Yeah, so assuming we're talking to an audience that has some of that knowledge, obviously, if you're new to options, just please understand it's a high risk reward asset class. If you want to learn about options, and I implore everyone does, it's important. It's a good idea to learn about it, just to understand its impact on the market. I don't know if this is the best environment to learn it, because options themselves are notoriously volatile. And then when you add in a highly volatile stock, I mean, the last time I checked the implied volatility, we're over 400%. The way I'm summing it up now, the first time you're hearing this terminology, lots of moves. Before you know it, you could be up a lot of money, down a lot of money. Like your P&L, it's just going to go all over. So I think you should learn about it. But for those of you who know about options of hey, how can I play this one? It's still, you're going to make a lot of money if you hit, but if it doesn't, it's just that notorious volatility. Now, for those of you wondering, what can I do for my part of to help with the squeeze? So off the bat, if you're talking about a short squeeze, a gamma squeeze, FOMO buying, if your goal is to assist this community and get the stock to go higher, I would argue mathematically, one of the best things you could do if you know about it is shares and options. Why am I saying two? Well, right there, buying shares, it helps the stock going up. For a nanosecond, you're providing the buying pressure, and you're putting more pressure on the shorts. If we hit a breaking point, some shorts are going to start covering. The reason I'm also throwing options into that is because you cannot discredit the value of a gamma squeeze. A gamma squeeze, if this is the first time you're hearing about it, it just relates to the options market. When there's a lot of out-of-the-money options that go in the money, market makers who are selling a majority of this premium are forced to basically cover the risk. It's referred to as their delta exposure. So they're going to start buying shares as we slowly go up. So to bring this all back, if you buy shares and you buy options that go out of the money and hopefully they track to going into the money, you're providing kind of leverage and assistance with both of these types of squeezes. But below that, if you don't feel like dealing with options, if this is the first time you're hearing about it, I would argue that the next best thing is just shares. And then below that, if for some reason you don't even want shares, well, buying calls is at least better than nothing. But overall, the tactic I would recommend is no matter what, you're always targeting buying at support. And then in this case, I'm particularly not selling until all the shorts cover, but normally I would offer the advice of selling at resistance, but still target support, because that's one very strong way to optimize your risk to reward ratio. So right there, we were talking about 40, 45, 50, especially 50. That is a beautiful psychological level that a lot of people will be paying attention to. So even me today, when we got there, I picked up a few more just because I thought it was a good dip buy opportunity. Throwing that one back to Mitch, what about you? Where would you kind of I guess, target some interesting areas on this chart?
Give me 1 second. Having a little bit of audio issues on my side. I can't hear you right quick. Give me 2 seconds. But definitely, I'm trying to point out here this support too. That's the same thing I was talking about. But I'll get you back in 2 seconds. Just give me two. Okay. I just got to switch my audio here.
No worries. It happens.
There you go. You know how it is going live. Gotta
Yeah.
adjust. There you go. I got you back.
All right, perfect.
Perfect. I just put you to my TV behind me.
All right, awesome. I like the game
You
time
got to roll
pivot.
with it.
Yep.
But yeah, no, 100%. I would agree if I would approach it now, because I like to take these kind of looks too and approach it in the technical analysis kind of approach. Definitely. And you got to kind of like size in on those support touches, especially not go after like what I would say, full one go, especially if you have what I talk about in this environment is free commission. Use your orders to actually help you put multiple orders at multiple levels. And then that way you can get that, the dollar cost averaging down, get a good position and build up a position near the support. Then I agree with you. Always look to sell. I look to sell a lot at that first resistance. And then I'll look for the continuation move. If I get it, I get it. But if it's not, at least I take some good profit off the table and I'm able to enjoy the trade from there on.
Definitely agree with you on that. I mean, and I think that's a big emotional thing, a psychological thing of the market is what's weird is like everyone gets jacked up like on a day like yesterday when it was just green all day, just ripping. It's so easy and everyone wants to buy it and like you want to go with it. But what's funny is the best time to do it is a day like today when it's so red, you keep it because like on the continuation of the move, that's how you make your money, folks. Truly, like I get it's more of like the joke and the meme of like, oh, red discount, but that's not the joke. That's actually the better way to trade. Buy on weakness and then you would exit on strength. And the big question in this particular community is like, all right, what type of strength are we actually talking about? And the way I would define that is like, well, I'm looking for the strength that we see when the shorts actually cover.
Yeah. And one of the things is always what I look at is that daily volume pop and how we got that daily volume build up. Most people weren't looking at it, but it was already building up here. It was already starting to build up. And then so whenever you see that volume build up, the 295 million there traded, that can already start giving you a sign that, hey, maybe some shorts are starting to cover here and realizing that support's not breaking down. I pointed out the same kind of move back when this stock really kind of lifted off the kind of the first move. If you look back here, this first move off of this low on 218 on our afternoon show, I was pointing this out that, man, did AMC really get 161 million shares traded today? What's going on here, guys? Keep an eye on this. And man, a couple days later and boom, I was like, man, I should have grabbed a little bit there at the $2 spot, but hey, that's how it is. So one of the questions that I had for you was, when did you first kind of get into AMC? Or what was that price level?
The first time I got in was right, I guess, late January, early February. So for me, that's actually when I started live streaming. I was always uploading videos for 2020, and then I wanted to live stream just to work on my public speaking, feel more comfortable in front of the camera, like even like that of like when you have issues, it's like you just deal with it, you just run with it, and I like that. That's a good skill set. So I was like, oh, like I'll start streaming. I did my first stream like New Year's Eve, like in 2021. And then fast forward, I was just doing it weekly. And then I remember Reddit got shut down and then Elon was tweeting game song. Things were just going haywire. I was like, I should probably just stream this, see what's going on. So at first my emphasis was very much on AMC. And that was Wednesday, January 27th, something like that. So at the end of January, a couple days in, it became very, very apparent that AMC was about to go wild. I was like, okay, that's cool. At that point, I had a lot of capital in GME, but I had some AMC calls. And then when it finally came down, I took profits from those calls. And I think my first purchase of AMC like had to be around that like $5 or $6 mark. And then since then, I've just been building up more shares, but a lot of it that the shares I'm buying comes from the profit of options that have been playing out, because we had those nice little spikes up to 1450 two separate times. So those were nice to build up some capital in the account and then just run from there.
Are you picking out like multiple expirations further out, or are you trying to do that?
Yeah. So right now I have January 4th tomorrow, January 11th, and January 18th. So I have for the next 3 weeks and all different strikes. Like it's just, I mean, at this point, I think on options over the next couple of days and my shares, I mean, it's just hundreds of thousands of dollars that all started with around 30K a couple months ago. Is like how much it's gone up to. Like, I think the exposure is now $500,000 and it started with like 30K.
Hey, well, I appreciate you being transparent like always. Now, one of the things I got to ask you, did you get your free popcorn? I'm sure a lot of people out there are wondering. And one of the things I want to ask you for that question, what's like your favorite movie theater snack? We got to know a little bit more about Matt.
This is a great question. So I actually love movies. It's so funny that it's playing out with AMC. I had a big plan to go to A Quiet Place 2 this past weekend, but in the end, like I decided to make some content, talk to some people such as yourself and get some interviews done. So I still haven't, I wanted to see Quiet Place 2. So I'm thinking about doing this weekend. I did. So I want to get my free popcorn, but I think a snack of mine, like a go-to snack, I would always get some popcorn, obviously extra butter, because like if you only live once, so I'm gonna enjoy it. And then Reese's Pieces. I love the chocolate and the popcorn, the Reese's Pieces. If I could get a bag of that and the popcorn, I'm gonna enjoy the movie 10 times more.
Oh, it's always about the snacks, man.
Yeah.
Always about the snacks. Definitely, definitely. So the last question I have was towards my title. Don't want to let our viewers down. I asked, could it potentially get towards that 100 level? Could you see that happening this year?
So $100.
Yeah, a lot of people are calling that level. I mean, I think if we can hold the 50 and get back above that 70, I mean, why not 100, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty confident of that being like a very realistic target. And honestly, I think it could go higher. So for me, I get that question a lot of like, what is your price target? When you sell? For me, it's not a price target. It's more of like, I will get out when all the shorts cover. But in terms of like 100, I do not think that AMC will have an issue touching that as long as this community and the momentum continues. And like, who even knows, like whatever Adam Aaron ends up saying, if there's enough of momentum behind that, we could be talking about 100 tomorrow or even potentially next week. And depending on how things play out, I would feel pretty confident of even going higher. But once again, not a financial advisor. You got to play it day to day, play it from technical level to technical level.
100%. At the end of the day, it's all about just kind of knowing your levels and looking at them. When they start breaking down, you'll definitely be able to see it on the chart, right?
Exactly.
But I got to thank you once again. Thank you for coming on, not only taking time, but taking overtime here as we keep going in here. So definitely, guys, if you guys enjoyed us doing this, hit the like, hit the subscribe down below. We're going to continue always trying to give platforms for traders like Matt. And that's really what Benzinga is all about. We're trying to give you guys the floor so that you guys can get to the retail traders. As we know, there's some other networks out there that kind of restrict traders. We won't get into who's and who's, but definitely one of the things that we want to do is give you the platform, Matt. Whenever you want to come on Money Mitch, you let me know. You're more than welcome, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for having me. Best of luck. I see you, like, folks, almost at 100K. Let's help this channel get up there. But I appreciate you giving me the platform to really just share the word of the ape and explain what's going on. Because like you alluded to, it's very one-sided of this current story. So I'm happy, like, finally this week, there's a little bit of a fight back to get out the word of the ape gospel, as I like comically refer to it. But thank you so much for your time and best of luck with everything.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll definitely have you back.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
All right, guys, you guys had it here on Money Mitch. I had to go after the man himself behind the rocket. You guys see it behind me. Definitely go in the description below. Click that link if you haven't already subscribed to Matt's channel, and definitely go to Matt's channel and check out his live stream. I don't know how the guy does it. He has the energy that doesn't stop. So definitely, guys, smash the like, hit the subscribe. Last thing I'll leave you guys off with is, of course, we got our 100K sub giveaway right now, guys. You guys can win a free share of Tesla. I'm going to play the trailer right here. Guys, get this free share of Tesla. We're not going to miss out on this. So definitely, guys, I think we're right near it. We're getting right near that subscriber. So definitely, guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'll put the Gleam link in the chat if you guys missed it earlier. And definitely, we'll see you guys next time on Money Mitch. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show. So then let me know in the comments below how you guys like the show. It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to